Hey y'all, what's good? Just want to let y'all know that it is time to focus LBK. Welcome to the Focus LBK show. This is Robert Jenkins, your host. This is episode 33. We're coming to you live. We just got back off the road too, man. Me and lovely wife had the opportunity to celebrate our 22nd anniversary. And it's always kind of weird for me to sit here and try to do public math and tell you how many years we've been together, because first of all, we've been together for 25 years. So we've been together for quarter of a century. But we've been married for 22 years. The big deuce. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say a 22 is a weak little pistol. But I don't know, man. 22 for us packs a punch. For our anniversary this year, we got out and about. We hit the road. We traveled west about 4.5 hours, and we went to a little village up in the clouds called Cloudcroft, New Mexico. Now, this is a joint that this little place is kind of an enchanted little village, man. I first learned about it back in the mid-'80s when we used to go out to Los Angeles, California, to celebrate our family reunions. And we would go in the summer. So his family reunions were July 4th. And one day we discovered a new route that we started taking. But the first time we ever took it, we went out 380. Then we went out 6282 and caught 380 west. And then it turns into 82. And we took 82 pretty much on up to Cloudcroft. Well, this little village called Cloudcroft is kind of difficult to say, especially if you're sipping on something player, which I may or may not be doing. But check it out. It's up in the mountains. That's why they call it Cloudcroft. Don't croft mean village or something like that? So it's a village amongst the clouds. So we pulled up in there back in like 85, 86. And keep in mind, it is down in the valley. It is like 100 and something degrees, 90 something degrees, because it's July. We get up this mountain. We've been traveling up for a long time, slowly going uphill, and realized we broke through the clouds and found ourselves in this little enchanted little village called Cloudcroft. And it was like, man, it was chilly. It was 95 degrees back down on the surface level, back down at the, Lubbock level. We get up in these mountains, 9,000 feet. And it's chilly, man. It's foggy and chilly up there. You almost need a coat. You did need a coat. And that was in July. I was like, whoa. So anyway, me and lovely wife, let me say it properly, lovely wife and I went up to Cloudcroft this weekend and celebrated our 22nd anniversary. So I learned about it traveling to those family reunions back in the 80s, but I always wanted to stop there. I wish I could get some property there, man. It is a beautiful joint. It is up in the mountains. It's imagine this green, verdant, that's vocabulary right there. I say verdant, but I say green and verdant. That's the same thing. Verdant is green. But anyway, this mountainous village surrounded by evergreen trees. And in those evergreen trees, ever so often, you find little cabins tucked up in there. With the time we went through, it seemed like they had smoke coming out the chimneys on them cabins. Well, anyway, that's where we went. And man, it's just a good little getaway. And it's hard to think about stressful things while you're up there. Matter of fact, the motto of Cloudcroft, this little enchanted village, the motto is 9,000 feet above stress level. And that it was. Man, we did a little light hiking, kind of, sort of. We took some pictures. I want y'all to look down here below the art will be below the podcast down here in the notes. I'm gonna put some pictures. I did a podcast while we were up there, but man, it looked good, but we didn't quite get the quality we was going for. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to leave y'all with just the pictures. But anyway, that's where we were this weekend. We had a really good time, and I would ask y'all, I would say, hey, LBK, if you can take a little weekend off. If you got the weekend off and you can take a Monday off, that's real good. Go up there Friday, man. It ain't nothing but a 4.5 hour drive from Lubbock. Now, I will tell you, New Mexico got some slow speed limits, man. What is up with New Mexico, man? Be wide open roads. You be the only car in sight. Speed limit be 55. Like, what is this, 1982? I can't drive 55. Y'all remember that Sammy Hagar? That's how I felt, man. Cause y'all know I ain't gonna lie, your boy I like to skate. I like to put the hammer down. You know what I'm saying? Not in an unsafe way, cause I be paying attention when I be skating. But anyway, when you rolling, man, okay, it's gonna slow you down a little bit, and also you going back an hour. You going west, so you going. I guess what is it? I don't know, what is it? Central time to Mountain time. You lose an hour. You leave at 5, and instead of getting there at 9, you get there at 8. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. It's 4.5 hour drive. But anyway, beautiful little village nestled up there in the clouds. Matter of fact, the song of the week, if y'all look down below, it's gonna be Above the Clouds, Up in the Clouds by Gang Starr. Y'all ever heard that? Peep it out. Before we get too far into the show though, I just want to talk about what's going on. And one of the things that's going on is the Soulful Sounds Love and Laughs presented by Acute Inflections, New York's jazzy R&B duo. That's Thursday, April 25th at Center Point Event Center. We gonna be there. We don't ever be square. If I'm stepping out with lovely wife, man, we be on point. We don't be square. You know what I'm saying? We be on point, and we gonna be on point at Center Point Event Center. Cause we gonna be peeping out them soulful sounds by Love and Laughs. No, it's presented by Acute Inflections. And I've talked about this before. Thursday, April 25th. Look like it's a brother with a cool, smooth little outfit on, jamming on the bass, on the upright bass. Got a little sister, a little good-looking, slender sister right there singing. And look like they be interacting with the crowd and laughing and chilling. Look like a good time. We're going to be there. I bet you we're going to see a lot of folks there, too. So, hope to see you. Next thing on deck, we got the 2024 Black Business Expo. Stronger Together. Networking Mixer is August 2nd, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the East Lubbock Art House. We're going to try to be there. Got the expo itself is August 3rd, 12 to 4 at guess where? May Simmons Community Center. That's the 2024 Black Business Expo. Stronger Together. Networking Mixer on the 2nd of August. And the expo is on August 3rd at May Simmons, 12 to 4. We got that Texas Banana Pudding Festival coming up. We're going to take some pics, man. We're going to try to get out there and take some pics. Y'all stay tuned for that. That's going to be Saturday, August 31st. So these are quite a ways into the future. Saturday, August 31st at 8 a.m. in Slayton, Texas. Downtown Slayton. That red brick. Texas Banana Pudding Festival. Get going and get out there and get you some banana pudding. I ain't going to get none because I don't fool around with too much banana pudding. Man, only banana I like is fake bananas, like banana now and later's, banana taffy or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like actual bananas. Something about that smushy, gushy texture in your mouth, and plus it always seems like they got something black on them or something brown or gray on them. I don't want none of that stuff, man. I take some artificial banana flavoring with yellow number 5 in it. I eat that before I eat a real banana. You know what I'm saying? Now laters and Laffy Taffy and stuff like that. But yeah, man, Lubbock, when I was up there in the mountains, I don't know, man. It's just, it was all about getting away though. And I would urge y'all, if you can get on out the crib, man, get on up there. And like I say, we were celebrating our 22nd year of marriage. And that was a blessing. That is a blessing to be with such a beautiful woman as my wife, lovely wife. Her name is Kim. Y'all probably already know. Kim Jenkins. I call her lovely wife when I'm on the mic. Man, she has made my home. She has made everything in my world be more cohesive. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the whole point, I think, of a marriage is. My man, Ben Franklin, I say my man like I know him. I did know him. I done read his autobiography. It was years ago. But one of the things he was talking about in his autobiography, I somewhere, it's a quote that from Ben Franklin, and he say, the man and the woman, I'm paraphrasing, but separately, men and women are incomplete. but together they form the complete human being. And that is so true. Kim, lovely wife, has been nothing but a helpmeet to me and a blessing in my life. Ain't nothing perfect. She ain't perfect. I ain't perfect. The marriage ain't perfect. The relationship ain't perfect. It ain't got to be perfect. It is, in fact, if it's perfect, it's boring. If it's perfect, it ain't even really worth having. You don't look at stuff you don't look for perfect in things. It's the imperfections that make things beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I would say, man. To anybody out there thinking that you don't need a man, I don't need no man, I can do it all myself. And there's a whole movement online called MGTOW, that's men going their own way. Man, I think both of those trains of thought, men going their own way and I don't need no man, I can do it all both of those trains of thoughts are just wrong-headed as far as I'm concerned. Because you clearly do need a helpmeet, whether you a man or woman. The Bible talks about that. We were made for each other. You can't cut no paper, at least not in a straight, precise way, if you only got half a scissors. You got half a pair of scissors. That's what Ben Franklin was talking about. A man is half a pair of scissors by itself. A woman is half a pair of scissors by herself. The only way we function properly, the only way we form the complete being that we're supposed to be and that we are meant by divine plan to be, is when we are together. Matter of fact, while I'm sitting here running my mouth, I'm going to look this Ben Franklin quote up because I got it right here. Let's see. It's Ben Franklin because I want to read y'all the whole story, man. Yeah. I mean, the whole quote. It ain't a story. It's a whole quote. And he say, check this out. Benjamin Franklin. He say, the thing itself, the being married and settled, it is the man and woman united that make the complete human being. Separate, she wants his force of body and strength of reason. He, her softness, sensibility, and acute discernment. Together, they are much more likely to succeed in the world. A single man has not nearly the value he would have in that state of union. He is an incomplete animal. He resembles the odd half of a pair of scissors. Check this out. He say, if you get a prudent, healthy wife, your industry and your profession with her good economy will be a fortune sufficient. Man, them you can talk all the smack you want about the founding fathers. I like them cats because they got insight. Yeah, they got a ton of insight. These are cats that were educated not only through reading the classics and the Bible and stuff like that, but also they had an honest appraisal of the ability to honestly appraise human nature. Something that we seem to have trouble with nowadays. We don't even know what humans are nowadays. We don't know what a woman is. We don't know what a man is. Any man can be a woman, but most women don't seem to be. I mean, we done lost our minds today. And that's why we don't have access, even though we have access to supposedly all the knowledge of mankind at our fingertips. We lose sight of basic common sense things like marriage. I don't care if I'm stepping on somebody's toes here or not, but guess what? Marriage can only be between a man and a woman. You know why? Because only men and women have totally different natures to complement each other in the way that they were made by our creator. Listen to what my man said. He said, the thing itself, the being married and settled, it is the man and the woman united that make the complete human being. Separate, she wants his force of body and strength of reason. He wants her softness, sensibility, and acute discernment. Together, they are more likely to succeed in the world. A single man has not nearly the value he would have as he does in that state of union. He is an incomplete animal. He says a single man is an incomplete animal. He resembles the odd half of a pair of scissors. Says if you get a prudent, healthy wife, your industry and your profession with her good economy will be a fortune sufficient. What the Bible say, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. You want to make a complete pair of scissors to be able to cut through all the bullcorn, to enable your children to be able to cut through all the bullcorn. One of the things I've noticed about children that come from homes. And we're talking about marriage because lovely wife and I just completed 22 years of marriage. And one of the things that I've seen is that sometimes you see girls that come from broken homes. They only have a mother. They don't have the tempering to their personality that the loving, strong, unyielding male attention of a father brings. You see, a father tempers a young lady, makes her a little less susceptible to the bullcorn that she will face from other men. Why? We set the example for how men are supposed to be. And I'm not talking about any old sperm donor. I'm talking about fathers, daddies is what I'm really talking about. Daddies, the guys that raise their kids. When you have a daddy in the home with a young girl, with a little girl, she learns how men are supposed to be. Young men learn how men are supposed to be. A young girl without a father, in my opinion, can easily turn out to be unbalanced. And that's the kind of girls you see out there in the streets looking for love in every masculine face, searching for acceptance of who she is as a human being. See, that's what daddies do to daughters. Daddies don't look at their daughters in a sexual manner. They look at their daughters as human beings that they have created and that they are responsible for. So when you take that whole sexual issue out of the equation between daddies and daughters, it's no longer there. A daughter begins to understand how a man should care for her because she sees a man who cares for her as what? Not as a piece of meat, not as a woman, but as a human being. When you have a little boy that is raised in a household with a strong, loving father, little boys learn how to be masculine. And they learn that masculinity is not being angry and tough and fighting, pulling guns. Being masculine is being in control of yourself. Being masculine is, I put it like, it's a certain stoicism. Y'all know y'all know who the Stoics was, right? It was a Greek school of philosophy where they took on life and said, hey man, good things happen. You got to stay even keeled. Bad things happen. You got to stay even keeled. You don't go too high. You don't go too low. You don't go too far left. You don't go too far right. Since we are missing that masculine essence today, that stoic masculine essence, that's why we go too far left and too far right. That's why we're caught up in such extremes. From everything from politics to sexuality, human sexuality, social interaction, we're caught up in extremes because we don't have those two complete halves of the scissor, men and women together, raising balanced families. Man, see, y'all done got me to preaching. And what I really wanted to do is just tell y'all how good that Cloudcroft was. But see, when I start talking about getting away with lovely wife, this is the kind of stuff that you have a chance to think about and clarify in your mind. It is vitally important for us as human beings of all shapes, sizes, colors, creeds. It is vitally important for us to form these stable households. Politics has nothing to do with it. It have nothing to do with left or right. If you look at the United States right now, all of the groups that are outperforming everybody else, Chinese, Asians of various stripes, Nigerians tend to outperform. You know what I'm talking about? We supposed to live in a white supremacist society, but yet the top 3, 4, 5 slots of highest earning people in the society are non-white. That's some sorry white supremacists. They need to get back on their game. They need to get on their A game if they supposed to be supreme. Unless I misunderstand what supreme mean. I think I got a pretty decent vocabulary. I think I understand what white supremacy is supposed to be. Well, how can you be a white supremacist society when all of the top 3, 4, 5 slots of highest performing, highest earning nationalities or races are non-white? I think it's something like Japanese. It's like Indian, Chinese and Indian is 1 and 2 or something like that. And then it's like Nigerians are up there in the top 3 or 4. I think other black people from the Caribbean tend to outperform almost all Native Americans. I'm talking about regular Americans that was born here. You know why? Because they still have intact cultures where they have two-parent households where the father provides discipline and the mom provides the softer side of the equation, and they form together like Voltron to make a powerful force that drives their families forward through time and through society. And they make no apologies, and they don't succumb to any of this old nonsense about redefining gender roles. Sure, you can tweak gender roles, but I mean, they're put there for a reason. It's just like saying you can tweak a table by cutting off, well, you can cut off this leg and the table will still stand up. Yeah, but it's wobbly. Well, we got a chair right here. It got 4 legs. We can cut off one of them legs and we can cut off 2 of them legs and it'll be all right. You can still kind of sit on it. Yeah, but you got the balance. The slightest thing come along gonna knock you down. Why would you purposely live like that? Why would you purposely set up a situation like that? I don't know. These are my thoughts as I'm chilling up this weekend, 9,000 feet above stress level up in Cloud. You always want to say Cloudcroft, New Mexico. That's what I was thinking about. We had a good time though, man. We had a real good time. Man, if you can make it, LBK, get out there to Cloudcroft. It's a nice little experience. It was a railroad town. It was a railroad stop that they used the railroad to mine, because you'll notice it's full of piney woods, timber country. But it's so high above sea level, 9,000 feet above, they had to build special railroads and skids made out of wood, and they would chop these trees down and slide them down. In fact, they would have little kids greasing the skids with some kind of grease. That's where we get the term greasing the skids, because they trying to slide these big trees down those mountains, and they had to grease those wooden skids to slide them trees down. So the whole thing is kind of a railroad stop that was centered around timber production. Eventually, when about 1947, they stopped doing that. That was about the last time they had a train regularly running through there. And that's because we came up with trucking. And it turned out that trucking the lumber down was much more economical. So, man, it's got a real rustic feel up there in Cloudcroft. Up in the clouds, up in the clouds. Peep this song out down below. It's Gang Starr, Above the Clouds. But yeah, that's what I'm singing right now. Up in the clouds, up in the clouds. Peep it out. Peep that Cloudcroft out too, man. If y'all can. Lubbock, Texas. This is Robert Jenkins, coming to you with the Focus LBK show. Y'all stay tuned and stay with us over the next few weeks. We're going to have us a production studio. We're going to have guests in studio frequently. We're going to have all kind of good stuff and good conversations. We're going to have video shows once again. We are kind of adjusting to the whims of life and circumstance over the last few weeks. But we still got our stuff together, and we finna get it together even further. We finna start kicking it in the studio. And if you want to be on the show, and if you know somebody need to be on the show, hit us up at 806-642-0949. That's 806-642-0949. Anyway, Lubbock, Texas, man, if you can't get to Cloudcroft, at least go there in your mind. Sit back, chill, relax, and enjoy this week. Take it easy, all right? Peace.